Just as we start doing a video, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. I just thought I'd do a short video on this clock. This is going to be one of our stock clocks. It's about to get some restoration work done. I just thought I'm going to, as we go through, just to showcase the type of things we're doing. This is a case, this is the it's dated about 1840. It's a bracket clock, double fusee bracket clock. It's completely been stripped down now. Pretty much all its metal, all its furniture and metalwork being taken off, and we're going to see what we can do with the case. There is various damage now. Everything really is going to be sympathetic, but obviously we've got to make the clock look quite well, but we'll be careful, try and keeping everything to the colour schemes that it is. But this is pretty much it. As you can see, there's bits and pieces being done and glued over the years. And that's it. And this clock will be done and then offered for sale. Also, we pop over to my little work desk. There's the movement there. Double fusee movements, 5 pillar movements. Quite a nice movement actually. There's no name on it. This clock was sold in Bonhams, I think, about 2008. It's probably going to sell cheaper than what it sold in Bonhams actually, because obviously the clock prices have dropped quite dramatically. But that's that clock there, but that's that movement, just showcasing everything. And then obviously as it's getting finished and as things are done, we'll be showcasing them. So we're now trusting Steve to do the case. So there you go, I'm sure he's going to do a good job of that. But yeah, there's that movement there. Anyway, just a short video. This is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. Have a great day. Thank you. Good morning, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. I just thought I'd do a video on the clock case. We stripped down the furniture off it the other day, and Steve has now finished the case. He's been burning the midnight oil, I think, on this particular one. As you can see, he's done a really good job of it. Still needs a few bits and pieces like veneering, but we're going to sort that out today. But generally now he's got the case to where it originally was a couple of 100 years ago. It was quite surprising. Quite impressed as ever. But there you go, that's that case now, and that's going to obviously have all its bits and pieces done now. As you can see, the colouring's more uniform now. Before, which is what's took a lot of time, a lot of burning the midnight oil, is basically someone had coated it with French polish and he'd went a bit over the top with it. So Steve's used various methods to bring it down without actually damaging the finish on the clock, the original finish. And I think when it's finished it'll be quite impressive. The clock will then be offered for sale. So then if you go over to our other site or other YouTube site, I'll do another video on the completed clock and giving a bit of history about the clock. Well, the history that I'm going to know of the type of movement it is, and you know, its dating and a few things I think about the clock. But this is the situation. This is going to be the situation with all our clocks. We're going to pretty much restore them and get them to as original condition as possible. Because often what's happening with these clocks is they're coming in, and obviously because obviously they've been around a long time, so people tend to varnish them themselves and one thing and another. So obviously we've got to try and adjust that, get it back to where it was, so that the clock becomes as it was a couple of 100 years ago. They're often very beautiful solid wood. This is, I think, would be oak, and it's veneered, I think, in mahogany. But yeah, it's got 2 nice side panels. We've ordered some cloth linen to go in the side panels to set that off. So yeah, so keep tuned and have a look at this clock when it's finished. Anyway, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. You have a great day. Thank you. Hello, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. I'm just doing, as I say, quite a few of these videos as we're going through some of the case work and some of the restoration work we're doing on some of our stock clocks that will be up for sale probably in the new year, I would imagine, judging by our workload at the moment. As you can see, you've seen these cases before in previous videos, but the cases now have been sympathetically cleaned and polished. and the side panels have been polished and they've had new cloth felt put inside them now. As you can see, the clamps are still on, because what we actually do, rather than use nails and stuff, we actually put small pieces of beading in to keep the side panels in, traditionally like it would have been done when these clocks were first constructed. We do our best to try and keep everything as it really was, and so that the clock does, you know, it stays within, you know, it's antique construction, rather than try to use more modern methods which, you know, stand out for us like a sore thumb. We frown when we see clocks that have been treated like that. You know, they should always be treated. It takes a lot longer to do this, but the results are far superior, and obviously it's a mark of what we're doing, what Steve's doing to the cases. I mean, and you know, you've got to keep them within reason. But there's the case there. What I'm going to do with these videos, I'm going to put them all into one video. I'm going to sew them together and put them into one video, and so you can see a progression as you're going along of as they're going along and as they're finished. As I say, that one's the same. As I say, it's got its interior panels which have been fitted. We've chosen a dark sort of red on that particular case, because that was similar to what was already in that. And this clock here was more of a cream. I mean, it wasn't the original stuff, so we've gone for a more green and antique green. What I try to do is, we have a lot of colours, we try to match them up, and we sort of try pieces in and we see what it looks like, and you know, then we get the feel of the clock and we sort of cast our minds back. We look through some paperwork, we try and find clocks that are similar and see what they've got in, and as I say, all in order to keep everything within the time period, and so that it looks right. There's also the wall clock, which I think I shown you the other day. The case is now being finished on that, so I'll be doing a picture of that very shortly. But yeah, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. You have a great day. Thank you. Hello, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. As I say, I'm just going to marry these are all different videos. I'm just going to put them all together onto one bigger video, which will probably be about 15 minutes or so long. This is just some of the work. This is the wall clock we were saying. This is when we've got one of the movements out. As you can see, it's been restored and it looks rather nice now. Looks rather good. Probably get a final polishing, final wax. But yeah, but as I say, everything is done sympathetic. A door's been fitted on the inside there. But that'll be a clock that's, you know, going to be up for sale. Really nice clock, double fusey. Clock probably dates again, probably 1840 maybe, but really nice, really great construction, 5 pillar movement, really fantastic clock, enamel dial, which is unusual in itself. Really often they're painted, but this one's enamel, and so that should look really nice. Some wear on the dial, but this is to be expected. This is our grandfather clock, which someone else took the case away and done the work. So that's the dial I've done with the resilvered and used some ink pens, the paint pens rather. We've done some videos on that. That's this clock. We never done the case on this particular clock. That was done by someone else, but there's that clock. That's running away quite nicely. Westminster, China. That'll be getting picked up soon. One of the other cases Steve has done. That's been refinished. That wasn't in good shape. That was a restoration coming from Manchester. A lot of pieces were missing from it. Steve's been working really hard on that one. And there is the movement out of that, which will be actually going in it when the case is finished. Obviously, we don't put the movements in the case, obviously, when the work is getting work done on. There's a lot doing the casework. There's a lot to it, because there's a lot of drying in between. I mean, we always use sort of, we we don't use totally animal glue, but we use glues and we clamp things up, and we'll let things dry thoroughly so we can work on them. It's not a rush job for us. It's really getting it right, as much as you can, but also keeping within the sympathetic side of things we really want it so that it's quite difficult to tell. You know, when we do the work, it's quite difficult to tell that there has been work on it. Steve's working on another case at the moment, which will be going up next to that, and I'll do a short video on that. The movements on that's a single weight, probably about 1870s. That'll be getting serviced, that movement, while it's here, and then that'll be getting fitted to the case. So that was dropped off the wall, that needed the glass and everything. Actually, the piece of glass is there. You probably can't see it, but that's the piece of glass there, ready to go back in it. We pretty much use a more of a greenhouse glass, really. I mean, that seems to fit well. We tried to, you know, you possibly, you know, you could be argued you should go down the plastic route, but it's not. You know, how are we going to get? You know, we can't keep things antiquity, then, can we? If we do that. And that's it. And pretty much, I mean, as I say, this is just a look around the workshop. We've got a 30-hour in there, which, to be honest with you, that 30-hour, that's running well. The rope is a bit frayed and that needs a good service. It's been serviced before by somebody else, but being honest with you, it's nowhere near to the standard we do it. So that's going to be done again, and we're going to re-rope that. But that's where we are with that. As we come on, we got another. There's another clock that came in. That's going to be another stock clock, single weight, single drive, not in really good shape at all. The door, as you can see, the shape of the case. I've actually took the door to the glazers this morning. He's going to cut us a piece of glass for it. It's obviously, it's not square. It's not just a square piece of glass. So it's got, you know, it's shaped exactly like you can see on that case. So he's going to cut that for us, and then we're going to do that. Then we're going to work on the movement. Movement's got a few bits and pieces missing. We're going to make a few bits and pieces for it, but hopefully that'll be a good clock, and I'll show you that when it's completed. And obviously it's going to be one of our stock clocks, so that will be up for sale, but it does need quite a bit of restoration, and hopefully that'll go okay. Other than that, the usual stuff I think you've seen. We've got the American down there, which is ours. We've got the London small clock. I mean, these clocks, they're actually reproduction, this type of clock. They have numbers on the thing. You can always tell a reproduction type of clock like this. One giveaway is this beveled glass, and then when you look at the movement, which I'll do another video on at some time, the movements, you can pretty much tell the way the pillars have been turned and stuff like that. You can pretty much tell, pretty much a giveaway. But they all look, you know, they all look like they should do. But when we sell them, they will be getting sold as what they are. There will not be any, oh well, that was made in this date and all that nonsense. It will be, this is the type of clock it is. You know, it's pretty much a showpiece. Anyway, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. You have a great day. Thank you.